Guys, this is Star and welcome back to another video. So this is basically me going over my favorite parts of Avengers Endgame, which I saw last night. Obviously there will be spoilers, but yeah, I'm just gonna get into this. So this movie was 3 hours long, but definitely worth seeing. Is amazing. There's a lot of funny dialogue and a lot of other cool stuff. But the most important thing is probably that the theories about the quantum realm and time travel were true. They did use that to go back in time to get the Infinity Stones to reverse what Thanos did. And that's only because Thanos used the stones to destroy the stones and half his own body, basically. Which Thor got revenge by going for the head afterwards. And well, that was really satisfying to see that, but it also wasn't, because it didn't solve any of their problems when they killed Thanos that first time. So yeah, then 5 years pass. Tony and Bruce figure out how to do time travel through the quantum realm, thanks to Ant-Man. So they do that. But when they're in Avengers Tower, my favorite part is probably when Captain America is fading his past self, thinking he's Loki because he escaped. And of course he got the satisfaction of knocking himself out, which would be sort of interesting to do. But I don't recommend trying that. But Captain America was amazing in this movie. In Age of Ultron, we saw him wiggle Thor's hammer, and that foreshadowed how he used Thor's hammer in this movie. He called the hammer to him. Thor's not the only one worthy. I had a feeling that Cap would be able to do it after what he did in Age of Ultron, but this was pretty cool. He seemed to know how to control the lightning, which was even more interesting, because he's never used it before. But I'd say that it definitely suits him. But anyway, let's talk about Thor in this movie. When the 5 years pass, he's some drunk person living in New Asgard, right? Doesn't really care about anything. Doesn't even want to hear the name Thanos, because he's so upset about failing by not going for the head the first time. Which it wasn't his fault. How is he supposed to know? But he's upset. Didn't really want to help at all. Rocket only convinced him by saying there's beer on his ship. But Thor, it was a good thing they had him. He came in handy. And now we needed to talk about when they got the Soul Stone, because I know that everyone watching this is thinking of that. So Hawkeye and Black Widow both went for the Soul Stone together. Then Red Skull tells them that they need to sacrifice someone, and they both care so much for each other, because they've known each other for so long and they know each other so well. They talk about it, but they both don't realize that they mean each other, that they, like, Hawkeye wants to sacrifice himself and vice versa, but they don't realize that. And then they have a little fight, obviously trying to decide who would do it. Hawkeye almost jumps off, but Natasha grabs him. She uses one of his grappling arrows and attaches him to the side of the cliff. And she goes. She basically sacrificed herself for the stone. And at that point, Clinton didn't really have anything left, because his family had already been, disintegrated by the snap. So he was not in a good spot. He was not happy at all. But as we know, because they fixed everything because of Tony, because he sacrificed himself by taking stones and snapping them himself. that Hawkeye got his family back. And then, yeah, speaking of Tony, he sacrificed himself. Hulk barely survived snapping the gauntlet to reverse its effects. And then Tony decides that since Doctor Strange held up his finger showing the one symbol to show him that this was their only chance, that he was going to be the one to snap it. And he just sacrificed himself. That's kind of heartbreaking because Spider-Man was in the same spot that Tony was in, having to watch someone he cared for die. But Tony actually died. He didn't vanish like Peter did. He actually died. So that was kind of heartbreaking. And then there's Pepper trying to tell him that everything's going to be fine as he's dying right in front of her. This movie was really emotional. I'm going to say that. My eyes did burn a few times in there. But other times I was smiling too hard that it hurt. Especially when the whole team assembled. Black Panther, Spider-Man, Guardians, the original Avengers, everybody, when they all grouped up for the final battle to face Thanos' army. I was smiling so hard when that happened. It's like, now they have a fighting chance. Now they may actually win. But they almost lost. They would have if it wasn't for Tony. Before this, I didn't really care for Tony Stark's character that much, but now I definitely have some respect for him. I still prefer Cap, but I have more respect for Tony now. And going on to Captain America's fate, he goes back in time to drop off the Infinity Stones in their correct places in their correct times. And when he comes back, he's sitting on a bench, old like he should be, if he hadn't been frozen in the ice. He gives Sam his shield, and he's just gone. We don't see much more of him besides him with Peggy at the end. Which is kind of happy because he finally got to be with her. But I still can't get used to Professor Hulk. It's basically Hulk with Banner's brains. I can't get used to that. It's so weird. The taco scene was hilarious. Made it even more strange and awkward. I think it was Scott. Yes. Scott's, everything got flown out of Scott's taco. And Bruce is just walking by. Gives him a whole new taco. It's so weird. And then comparing Professor Hulk to his 2012 Avengers self was very interesting. Because he's like watching him totally destroy a car in a rampage and run off. And then he just does some kind of he tries to, I don't know how to explain this. But apparently since he obviously isn't Hulk, but he's more a Banner, he's basically doesn't really do much when he hits the roof of another car. It's kind of funny. More of Hulk. One of my favorite Hulk parts was the stairs. Because the elevator was full and they made him take the stairs. He's really angry. Comes out at the bottom. Bashes a door down. Says something like Hulk hates stairs. But he accidentally knocks over Tony. Which is why they had to go back in time again. Him and Cap. And he came across his own father. When he tried to get away with the Tesseract. His father asked him who he was. He came up with the false name of Howard Potts, using his dad's first name and Pepper's last name. never once did his dad suspect who he was. I found that really funny. But it's kind of cool they got to meet his dad, like when he was younger, and doing more things than he did when he was a child. When Tony was a child, but that was really really cool. Overall, I feel like this is a I don't know why I'm coughing. Sorry. I feel like this was a fitting end for such a good franchise. I mean, I know they're going to do a Black Widow movie, but it's obviously going to be a prequel now that she's gone. I mean, because Tony could have snapped without her sacrificing herself for the stone. But they're obviously making a prequel for that. But overall, this was a very fitting end for such a great franchise of 22-ish movies, I think. But it's a very fitting end. I'm satisfied with the way it turned out. It's definitely worth the 3 hours and not getting home till like 8:30 last night. But if you guys haven't seen it yet and watched just because you want to hear spoilers for some reason, go see it. Just go see it. If you've already seen it and have the money and want to, go see it again. Which I'm afraid I won't be able to do myself, but when it comes out on DVD, I'm definitely going to get it and watch it a few more times. Because that movie's amazing. Definitely worth the money and worth seeing. Especially since so many people are seeing it, and spoilers will get around fast. In fact, I heard one yesterday before I saw the movie, and I got very annoyed with my classmate. Aside from that, go see the movie. It's amazing. But be prepared to leave part of your own soul there with it in the land of the Avengers. Because this one's real painful, I guess you could say. Anyway, have a great day or night wherever you guys are. Thanks for watching this review and me going over my favorite parts of the movie. And see you guys next time. Bye.